Do you have Dan? First Dan, second Dan, and third?
First Dan.
You were the first Dan?
Yeah, so that's like the lowest level black belt.
Black belt. You were in the first Dan, or which one? All?
The Korean Hapkido. I got
You
a...
were the first Dan.
Yeah,
Dan,
they
you couldn't take the Dan from the others? Dan?
if I studied longer, I could have worked a little bit on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but I started getting a little old. You know, it's a lot of throwing and it's hard on the body.
So then
I'll probably
you started
teach.
You open your, you were going to the home to sometime teaching martial arts also. So now you are going to this business, huh?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Good. So let's come back to the questions. What do you feel when you pray, brother? Talk. When you pray, Salah, and when you read Quran, what do you feel? I mean, the worship, you make, mashallah, all your worship. And when you make your worship, what do you feel? What's the meaning of those things for you, spiritually?
I think most important is a discipline, like trying to change my life and get onto a regular routine so I can know what the path God wants me on. And when I do my salat, I feel like I'm doing the right thing. Right now, it's just I'm concentrating mostly on trying to say the words correctly, because coming from a Christian background, we have so many different Christianities and different ways to pray that it makes a lot of sense to me to pray one way using Arabic and trying to master your 5 prayers a day. I'm a big believer that that's the right way, and I also try to think about what the Al-Fatiha means and the different phrases at the different parts of the Salat. So I try to think about that and concentrate during my, I guess it's a way to get out of the busy lifestyle here in Los Angeles. When I pray, it's kind of like, as a exercise coach, it's like I'm exercising spiritually and also eating at the same time, like I'm getting my spiritual nutrition from Allah. And some of the brothers have told me, I've come and I'm always under a lot of stress learning how to change and become a Muslim, but they said, Islam's very simple. Just come here and talk to your Allah. And another thing, I think it's helpful for me because, I don't have to go to a priest. I don't have to go to a minister. Allah knows my heart when I'm doing my salat. So, I do feel a connection, and the masjid's become a very special place for me.
And what about Ramadan? Well, how did you leave Ramadan?
This is going to be my first Ramadan.
Inshallah. After 3 months, inshallah, Allah gives happiness and beneficial life. Of course, all the things are beautiful in Islam, but sometimes some people impressed more from something. If you have anything that you can say that this is perfect for the human, you understand, for the universe. I mean,
well, being former Protestant, it makes a lot of sense because Islam's a great religion for kind of bringing everybody together, because Muhammad's the last prophet. So I think Islam could unite a lot of people, and it's the religion of peace. So that appeals to me, that I believe it's the religion that has the ability to give people what they're really looking for in life, not material things, because people have all this money and they're not happy. And then on the other hand, if you're a selfish person, you're not very nice. So if you have a lot of stuff, you could give it to somebody else and you'll feel better. So I think that a lot of things about life, Islam has the answer. And giving to the poor is, I think, one of the most beautiful things. I talked to an imam and he said, there's really no extremism in Islam. We go out every Friday and we feed non-Muslims, even though they're not Muslims. We give give food to the homeless people, and whether they're Muslims or not, because they're human beings. And in my growing up, we always just kind of focused on taking care of our little group and not just somebody because they're a human being.
What's your opinion about Islamic world in our days? What's the problems? What is the solutions? Of course, maybe this subject is not your detailed, that you didn't live so experience with the Muslims. I mean, or I ask the question like this. Or let's compare the East and West cultures. What's the difference between East and West cultures? I mean, East cultures means, of course, Islam is not the religion of the nation. Islam is for everybody.
Right.
But anyway, we say East society. I mean, what's the difference? Because you met sometime with the Muslims, and of course your background, you're Christian, and even now maybe you're together with the Christian people for business dealing, etc. So can you compare the both cultures, West and East culture?
My first experience with people from the East is pretty much Asians, like Chinese and Koreans. And I'd say, in my impression, I notice a lot of similarities from Middle Eastern, South Asian, and East Asian people, where they have more of like a discipline and kind of a community-based culture, and a respect for elders, where, especially in America, we have more of an individual culture. And I'd say, my impression is, I think in America we don't know enough about other cultures, and sometimes, like if we go to a country, we're just so used to being Americans, we might not show a lot of respect to people, and then we love our freedom so much we want to tell everybody about freedom, and sometimes there's a lot of bad things about freedom, but I'd say I think a lot of people in the East don't always see the good thing about Americans. Maybe they just see like all of our negative stuff about our materialistic culture, and they don't see, I think Americans are really kind people, and we have a kind of a culture because we had to come across the United States, so most people kind of believed you had to do everything by yourself.
How about the spreading of Islam? Which kind of ways do you advise to the Muslims to spread Islam to?
Some of the ways that I think have been the internet is really helping a lot, because it's kind of a non-threatening way where you can get the information without, especially here in America, we've felt like we've been preached to so much, and what we've been told isn't we end up seeing what people say is not really their actions. So I think the internet would be really helpful, because you can read the information, you can go to an Islamic website or Facebook, and you can hear the exact opposite than what you'll see on the TV news. So I think the internet's helpful. Also, maybe the Muslims could reach out more to, mostly in America, get to know more Americans. There's a lot of opportunity with especially the financial problems. People are questioning the material lifestyle, and there's a big opportunity to give people some faith. And there's a lot of problems that Islam could help out by. A lot of Americans have problems with eating too much food, drinking, not being happy, divorce. So, if somebody could come up with a good way to show a solution without feeling like the person's being judged, I think that's a great way to spread Islam. Spreading it as an answer to problems.
All answer for all these problems that living in this country. But what's the way? Yeah, internet is one way. I don't know what.
Well, brother said that how he was telling me how Islam got spread to Indonesia was the people were so impressed by the way that Muslims did business. They weren't cheated, and they were treated very kindly by the Muslims, and they were consistent. They were always, so it wasn't what they said, but it was the interaction and the kindness and the fairness in the way the Muslims did business, and the way they lived their life was appealing. So I think that's one way. And maybe with some of the new converts in America, maybe teaming up with a very knowledgeable person in Islam, and going out and talking to people, sharing the faith. But probably the most important is like doing the fair business and being honest. And could you just repeat what you said?
Yeah, I said that if the Americans, if we can take the message of Islam, the information of Islam, what's the Islamic information is rich, the Americans, and completely and correctly, I believe that a lot of people will convert to Islam more and more.
When I was thinking about converting, it was like I kind of had a feeling that Islam would spread in this country if the right word got out. That because people are kind of poor in spirit and they're hungry. That and I think a lot of people they kind of think that the media is not being truthful and about how much like they got away with brainwashing us and we didn't even know it. Because before 9/11, I'd say people probably most people probably had a neutral to favorable view of Islam. I don't think, unless you came from a very strict Christian family who's prejudiced, I think some way that the media is kind of working against themselves. I think more people maybe getting some more shows out there, like showing, probably showing how people's lives change from Islam. That would be the best, like a reality show. Not something phony, but like showing somebody how their life was before Islam, what they thought, what made them change, and then their life after Islam.
Do you want to say something more to the Islamic brothers and sisters in Turkey? If you have any advice, maybe they must do something. They mustn't be lazy, according to me. What do you want to say to act them?
I'd just like to thank them for like being the people that have kind of kept hold of the light for us here in America. So if it wasn't for all the people keeping the hold of their faith through the challenges, we wouldn't have the opportunity to become Muslims here in America. So I'd just like to inspire all the brothers and sisters in Turkey to think about us here in America and pray for us, and I hope that we can find more ways to communicate and to grow stronger together.